I don't know. What's up, John?
Maybe in the past. Well, let good old John Kovach start this off. Jan, start this off. John, and we'll get rocking and rolling.
Hey, this is fantastic.
So I'm in the car right now.
Awesome. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here, Aaron. Thanks for being here, Willie. Looks like we got Alfred Kame, my friend, and Dig Erickson. Super glad you're here. Thanks, guys. This is awesome. We put out the notion just within 24 hours that I wanted to launch this training, and something that I and Kyle align with very, very well. And we talk about all the systems and processes you need to go through into developing the right relationships that are actually going to get you paid, turning your relationships into partnerships, your partnerships into profits, and so forth. But some of the most important things that I love to talk about is networking and turning those relationships strategically into the kinds of relationships that will never let you down. The kinds of relationships that will actually lead to the kind of people you can call up at 2 a.m. and they're going to be at your doorstep within an hour. These are the kinds of relationships that actually influence and increase your life and your business. And I've asked Kyle to come on, a good friend of mine and an absolute genius in the world of business. He's taken a lot of people and a lot of companies and turned them into 6-7-figure businesses. And I'm really grateful for him and all of his thoughts and his ideas. But he's come on here and he's going to teach us a little bit about how we can turn these relationships and some of the systems that we have missing in our current processes and turning those into the profits that we need, but those relationships necessary. And I'll kind of set him up for that and a little bit of his own introduction as he comes in and kind of talks more about that. And then I'll kind of chime in at the end and we're going to introduce to you guys what we like to call the champion circle. So Kyle, it's off to you, man, my friend.
I love it. I love it. Aaron, don't get the coronavirus while you're driving. I hear that's a bad thing to get. Willie, what's going on, man? If you want to unmute yourself, let me know a little bit about what you do and why you're here.
Yeah. So John invited me. I just love helping bring people to light. Like my ultimate goal is on the next Tony Robbins to be a world-renowned speaker and just to help people make their challenges their superpowers. And so since John invited me, I just wanted to be here to support him and to learn more about how to make it happen.
I love it. And that's a huge goal, brother. So good for you.
I know it.
Like the next Tony Robbins is so good for you. Good for you. Are you currently running programs right now? And do you currently have a really good following?
No, and sure. Like I'm so grateful for the people that do follow me. Obviously I want to help as many people as I can. And
Sure.
So I don't have any programs right now. I'm kind of just starting. I'm finishing my semester at UVU for my bachelor's, and I'm just
outstanding. What's your bachelor's going to be in?
Business management and marketing.
Absolutely awesome. So here, let me give you some advice.
Oh, I'd love it.
The only time you know your movement is actually a movement is when people pay you for the things that come out of your mouth. Right? Like there's so many Joe Blows who get in a divorce or get separated or have this traumatic experience in their life. And overnight on Facebook, they become motivational speakers and life coaches. You're battling with everybody who thinks they're that without a skill set or an ability to actually create a movement. So what I want for you in this moment is to understand that a movement is built from strategic placement of communicating a message. How you communicate your message strategically placed inside of the market is going to either make you successful or burn you to the ground. So I want you to think like, really, what is the message you're communicating? What do you truly love? What lights you on fire? And what is a unique skill set behind you as a person that you can share and help in other people's lives? Not things you've learned, not things you know, but you as a person, what abilities do you have? What lessons have you learned that you could actually develop in a program to help other people? And then how are you going to communicate that message to separate yourself from the naysayers? And the reason why I'm sharing you this is I built a movement of men, over 2,579 men to date in the last 3 years, called the Wolf Project. I know how to build movements. I know how to make things happen. And it comes down to this. being very strategic in how you're communicating the message around who you are.
I love it.
Gotcha, brother. I appreciate you being here. I love John Kovach. He is he's a guy that we've interacted for the past year, and if I've known anything about a man is his ability to connect people and past that to actually love and respect everybody inside of the game that he plays with is a beautiful gift, because not a lot of people do. So I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be on this call with you guys, the ones that showed up, and I'm more honored that John invited me to this space, because he is truly a man to follow. Jake Erickson, do you mind turning on your camera? I love to see faces, brother. You there, Jake? Maybe not. Okay. Alfred, do you have a camera so I can see your face and let me know a little bit about you?
Sorry, I'm prepared for that. I just moved from Colorado to here just a day ago, and so coronavirus it's hitting pretty hard at the area where I was staying at, and so my program canceled, and we had to pack everything up, and I'm working, and I saw an email come through my inbox today, and I was like, what the heck, I'm not going to be doing anything, so I'm just here to listen.
Right. I got it, man. Like a lot of my National Guard guys got sent out to Colorado to help with that quarantine area. So it's rough out there.
Yeah. I apologize for the decline. I'm trying to multitask and everything. So, yeah, man. But thanks for
what do you do,
John, by the way.
What do you do? Like, what's your business?
I'm currently working on a startup called Video Peel. And I'm the director of strategic partnerships and sales. Okay, so
what do they do? What do you do?
What do I do? I strategically go out after brands that have stores, like e-commerce stores, and convert 20% more revenue by using the power of video, testimonials, and reviews.
Awesome. So you're a video guy. So it's really just creating the story around making the video match the emotion.
Yeah. So for instance, like we're working with like Shopify right now to implement and automate like the entire process between somebody buying something and instead of requesting like a review via just copy and text, we collect a video review, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we help manage it, and then we publish it, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a cool little niche.
Yeah, we use a lot of AI and machine learning that we're implementing right now. And we were at, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Y Combinator.
Yeah.
We were, it's very alike. It's called Techstars, and this is an accelerator. At the end of the day, they shut it down because of the virus being so close to the office. Send everybody home. So here we are.
Right. Well, I think you're in the right place. Utah has this really eclectic little build out of things happening in e-commerce side and in experience side. So you could actually branch over to like self-realized experiences. That's kind of the new jam for a lot of people in Utah, and the e-commerce side. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Aaron, can you hear me? Don't crash, but tell me quickly what you do, what's your business. Let me kind of know a little bit about you. I think he's struggling with his connection a little bit on and off.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So I'm in the capital raising end of land development. I find the money. And so actually what I'm finding though is everybody wants money. And so I've got a number of projects on my plate ranging from the land development to tech to infrastructure and even some more other stuff as well.
Okay. What's usually your capital gains on acquisition? Like what's the standard amount you're usually raising?
Our minimum is 250,000. And other than that, the sky's the limit.
Right. So your standard.
1.5, but we've gone up to 10 million for some raises.
Okay. Are you guys utilizing a private placement memorandum, or how are you collecting that cash?
So I'm in charge of the connection, and I turn them over after that. So I'm not
Okay.
too
So
familiar
you
with
don't
the
pull the
rest of it.
legality of it.
Yeah, I'm very new to the business too. So specific questions are reserved for somebody else.
Got it. I love it though. I love it. And I love the spot you're in because there is an amazing profitability margin with new businesses. Like my whole goal this year was to own at least 20% and 30 businesses this year. So I've been like really pushing for that. Oh yeah. Well, I've been there, done that, but now I'm going to push a little harder. So the thing is though, is what can you bring? If you can bring money, it's a lot easier to own 20%, right?
Yeah,
if you're creating
absolutely.
the capital for them to be successful. So I love where you're at, and I think you're going to crush it. Jenna Lindsay.
Hello.
What's up, girl?
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What is your business?
My business is organizing solutions for busy people who want to get back on track and focus on what's most important.
Love it. Love it. And Jake, this is your last chance. Can you hear me? Are you there? Oh.
Yes.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey.
What do you do? Talk to us.
So I work for Medicare Exchange, but currently I am working to leave the Medicare industry, and I've been working on building a Forex platform. So
okay. You're lots of sequences in that game.
Yeah.
Good for
you.
So
it's network marketing, and so I like John's message about you and networking, so I thought this could be a good meeting.
Okay. Well, this is what we're going to talk about today. I appreciate you being here, Jake. Stay focused, stay connected. I'm again truly honored that John had me on here. So I want to talk about let me rewind. The funny part about what's happening today in society is that everyone's business has had an effect in the way society is operating. And the only reason why is because they're not in the business of technology. I want you to understand this. It doesn't matter your product, your solution, or experience, or what you provide, what you're building. If you're not leveraging technology in an effective manner, then you will not have longevity inside of your business, because technology is the means to communication and connection. How many people are on Facebook, LinkedIn, social media platforms? Let me put this in perspective. In 2019, Facebook grew in users, worldwide users, 74.3%. Everyone thought Facebook was plateauing. They had the largest new systems, new users registered in 2019. LinkedIn did $6.3 billion in ad revenue for the entire year of 2019. Facebook did $8.2 billion the last quarter of 2019. Put that in perspective. So what does that tell you? If more businesses are spending money on ad services in Facebook, they're having a larger generation of users inside of that platform that are actually paying money for products, services, or solutions. We're in the business of technology, because technology is growing in the way that we're connecting. See, the old format was, I need to go to all these events and meet all these people and tell them how great I am and what I'm doing and how I'm so important. And nobody cared. All you're there for is to tell them what you're doing, and hopefully they'll want what you're creating. Connection groups. There's a huge difference between a winner circle and a connection group. There's a huge difference between sharing ideas, having people in a group and in a community that can actually help you propel your business, inside of, I'm trying to sell you something and that's why I'm here. So I want you to imagine the possibilities that your communication skills on social media is key. And it's not key because I'm saying so, it's key because the numbers are proving so. No one spends point something billion and a quarter on ad revenue spend unless they were getting a return. But let's be honest, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of ads on Facebook, LinkedIn, Venmo is like this new thing where you can actually do ads on Venmo. It's a cash app. That's insane to me. People transfer money. It's owned by PayPal, but now people are doing ad campaigns inside of people spending money to their product. It's maddening. But why? Because the key in communicating message is effective in that platform. And right now, the way society is going with the coronavirus, everyone's going to die. I got it. Go buy all the toilet paper and the noodles you can buy just in case the end of the world happens, but it's not going to happen. Mark my words right now. And by May 11th, it'll be a huge change in how this is going. Hey, Lauren, how are you doing, brother? Appreciate you being here. So I want you to see this. Communicating a message effectively is key to connection to earn the right for a sale. And what you're doing on social media platforms is understanding that you're not trying to tell them what to buy. You're not trying to talk about your product, solution, or experience. You're trying to convert their mindset from what they need to what you can give. And what you can give is not based off you being person of value. I cannot express this enough. The biggest problem on why people don't get paid on social media platforms is because they're trying to add value. I'm going to give so much value today. I'm going to add value. So what are you doing? You're constantly trying to communicate a message that you think they want to hear. And so you're not consistent in the way you're delivering the message because you're waiting to see how the marketplace chooses what works and what doesn't work and hoping to double down on that. What if the value you give is just designed by you and the marketplace will decide if they need it or not, so that you're congruent in your messaging and that will separate you from everybody out there? Because you're not trying to add value wherever you can. You're trying to give value to your specific skill set. And the marketplace will decide if they want it or not. You don't need to find a niche. The niche will be created by your consistency. Connection is key when communicating a message with consistency. So no matter what you're doing in advertising and marketing and how you're doing it, I want you to think about this. How you communicate that message on social media is going to give emotional connection to what you offer, and they'll decide if they want it or not. The person, the buyer, is the one who sees value or not. I'm hungry right now. I can have a Snickers and a Kit Kat in front of me. Snickers is not trying to find every way to sell me. They're saying, this is what we give. This is what we have. Do you want it? Yes or no? And I decide if I'm a Twix guy or a Snickers guy or a Payday guy today. And it could change tomorrow, and that's okay. But they're designing the information to what they give, and that's that. Yes or no? Make sure that you're communicating a message effectively in that fashion. This is who I am. This is what I give. This is how it's going to work. Now, this is how I want you to think about it. Conversion of mindset is based on communicating a message with stacking information. I want you to think about this in a 3-part system. First part, communicating a message on social media about who you are and why you love what you do. Second part, what you solve in an emotional prospect. Not like, my product's amazing, I'm going to change the world. What is something emotionally in your personal life that connects you to why your product, solution, or experience matters? That's the hardest thing for somebody. I call it the used car salesman syndrome. They're like, hey, for this reason alone, I can see you purchasing this car. We've got all of these features. Guess what? No one cares about your features. What matters is my emotional connection to why I want the car. I don't buy a Ford truck because I think that it's logical. I buy it because I feel cool in a Ford truck, right? Like if it was logical, I'd get a Prius. If it was logical, people wouldn't have Prada purses. They'd go to Walmart and spend $2 for 50 more pockets. The emotional connection inside of communicating a message is branched off your personal emotion connected to the product. If you're using words like you should, this is why, you're screwing up the message. It should be in my life, I've had this experience, and this product, solution, or experience changed this for me. And this is why it matters that I'm telling you this. Communicate message number 3, the path, the direction for that client to go to have the one-on-one conversation with you, to have the application, to buy the product, whatever direction lead pool you're going inside of your marketing campaigns. You must give that direction consistently and constantly inside of communicating a message. But be clear on the value you're given, because it's just you and not what you think they need. Be consistent, effective, and deploy strategically how that message is coming across. I've worked with law firms. Today I had a meeting with the largest insurance firm, and they flew in from California to meet with me to be more congruent in their messaging. It works, or else these big players would not be doing it. I'm kind of dumping a lot on you guys quickly, but I want you to take this one step further. If you guys want, those who showed up today, I will give you the framework on how to do organic based marketing that actually gets you paid on communicate a message, capture permission, and convert mindset. Those are the 3 key phases. Absolutely free for being part of this program with John. If you really want an in-depth training, I'm happy to do that for you guys. I'm not going to ask you for money. I'm not going to sell you on anything I'm doing. I don't care. I love John. I love what he's doing in this program, and I'm going to back that. So if you want that, we can go into really deep training into that you can actually leverage. But going on further, I want you to understand 3 things. This day and age, if you're not dialed into technology and in the business of understanding technology, you're failing. You need to be really clear on what your CRM is, how you're leveraging emails to connection to video, I'm going to say it again, video, to connection to your message. And inside of that space, packaging it in a place that has a direction for your client to go. A lot of people post a lot of crap with no direction. They have this copy and they pay people to have the best copy, and they have this amazing video. And it says, if you like and this is speaking to you and you think this product can interest you, please press the like button. Nobody cares about likes. I care about the money in my pocket. I care about getting paid so my family can have the life they want and I can serve more people because I'm making more money. And the only way to separate is always give a direction. If they feel connected to your message, if they feel that you are at least 80% of the solution inside of that space, give them a place to go, to connect with you one-on-one, to buy your product or service, or to register or apply for an experience, whatever your business is. This is key. The next step is you need to get clear on numbers. Just like having a technology inside of CRMs, have a mathematical equation to make sure that your message works, especially you, Willie. You want to see if what you're communicating to the marketplace actually gets you played. You need to know your cost per lead, CPL, cost per lead, cost per client, CPC, cost per client, cost per acquisition, CPA. These are words a lot of people put out, but this is why it's important. If I know my cost per lead, then I know that every lead coming in is paying me $25 right now, is paying me $25. Even if I spend $10,000, the leads that come into my funnel, if I'm clear on what a lead is, makes me $25. How do I know that? Because my cost per client could be $10,000. Let's put that in the bigger spectrum of things, because that's how much I'm spending on my marketing and advertising campaign. And my cost per acquisition is $3,500. So inside of that space, I can tell if my sales system is faulty because my cost per lead has gone less than $25. If I'm not making $25 from every lead that comes in, that means that I'm not closing at a ratio that makes me money. Does that make sense? Doesn't mean I'm closing everybody, but it means that at $10,000, if I have 100 leads come in, I need to close at a value that all of those leads are worth $25. So if that's closing 15, 20, 25% of those leads, I know my margin inside of closing that lead. That will allow me to see the gap in my message. Am I getting leads from the way I'm messaging? Am I communicating effectively? And is my sales system and sequence closing sales and getting paid? Now moving forward, cost per client. How much do I spend for that one client? A client meaning they have paid for my product, service, or experience or solution or whatever it is that you guys do. They have paid me to work with me, to have my product. Whatever that cost is that I have to pay in order to have that lead gen come into a client, what is that number? And inside of that space of cost per acquisition, I can see what my profitability margin is on social media by communicating a message. There's a math equation I use for this. I dial it into all of my businesses every week. On Friday, I do the equation. I see what all these numbers are, and it can tell me that every time someone clicks this, it's worth this amount of money to me. And I can tell my closing ratios to profitability margins, not closing ratios. I close at 20, 70, 80%. That doesn't matter to me. What's my profitability margin after the cost per acquisition to that lead? That's key. Because if you know that number, it doesn't matter if you spend 10 grand, 20 grand to back your message. It doesn't matter because you know you're making profit no matter what you spend by understanding the bare metrics. If you guys want to know that math equation, I'm happy to do it on another training with communicating a message with John. I've got to bring my whiteboard out. It's a little more intensive. If you guys want it right now, I'll go through it really quick right now. Do you guys want that equation right now? Okay, John's like giving me thumbs up. I'm going to pull up my last one. You guys, you're going to want to write this down. I'm going to pull my numbers from last week. And I'm just going to give a high level to this. Usually I write this down. It's easier to understand, but we're just going to talk it. We're just going to say it. It's going to work out. Lauren, while I'm looking, introduce yourself. What do you do in business? What's your jam?
Well, my name's Ty. And
oh, why does it say Lauren Cobb?
No, yeah, my wife's the one who signed up on it. She's gonna be here in a minute, but
okay.
Yeah. So I do
hi Ty.
Yeah. I do graphic and motion design. So that's
explain more of what that means. Graphic and motion design.
So graphic design, I do like everything between stationery to, websites, billboards, magazines, designing all types of marketing, advertising. And then of course, motion design is doing motion graphics, creating videos, doing whiteboards, doing promo videos.
Is it like that whiteboard where it's like drawing out people doing things while they're communicating that effective message?
Yeah, I do that. I do also like other, informational videos or, promotional videos, advertising videos, whatever type of videos pretty much, or intro graphics, those type of things. Build websites.
So you do it all technology based.
Yeah,
You're the techno guy.
Everything. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. John, if you want to share a little bit of what you're getting out of this while I look these numbers up so I can train this effectively.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kyle.
And take over a minute.
And while we kind of wait to transition here, you guys don't know how incredibly lucky we are to have Kyle on here. He's an incredibly busy person. You just mentioned to you that he was meeting with some high-end people today, going over some really awesome things. But what I love about working with Kyle and learning from Kyle is being specific and being explicitly clear on where you're getting your leads from, where you're getting your people from, and turning them into your connections and profits, right? And what I love about all of this is when you find the actual outcome for each of these things, you will find yourself measuring a lot more in your business than you did before. I oftentimes talk to people about creating a networking strategy, creating a strategy behind the way that you reach out to people, and only do things in that strategy that lead to profits, that lead to connection. Now, it's sometimes hard and it's kind of ambiguous to say, well, if I go to an event and I meet 20 people, how do I follow up with that and say the right thing so that that turns into profit? Well, that's not what it's about. It's not always about having someone turn into a transaction. We talk about higher levels of connection. But when people are already listening to you, when you're using your online methods, when you're reaching out to people through your marketing and your advertising, you already need to be creating the messaging that leads to the action, that leads to people interested in what you're doing and how to say yes or no. That's all we need to know. We need to know when people want to say yes to you and your services and no to yes to your services, right? To you and so forth. So I love this concept, and I love bringing Kyle into this because he's taught me a ton about being absolutely explicitly clear on those things in your business. So and for a lot of you who've jumped on, this was a lot of information in a very, very little amount of time. But I wanted you to know that this is extremely valuable in the way that you outreach to people and then the way that you measure your success. Because if you're not measuring it, every now and then we're just going to look at did my post perform? And you usually measure your performance by likes, by maybe some engagement. And I know that social media has created some analytics that you can use to find out what the effectiveness of that is, but all of that really doesn't work. And all of that really doesn't matter if you don't have a game plan. So that game plan needs to be explicitly clear on how to generate relationships that will actually turn to profits.
I love it, John. The beauty, there's a weird echo. Hold on. The beauty about what he said is connections prove to be profits. If you're connecting effectively and you have the right synergy inside of how you're communicating effectively, you will be profitable. So I'm going to give a really dirty rundown kind of sequence on this math equation. And this is going to help you know, am I profitable or am I not? All right, we're getting real now, y'all. I wasn't going here, but we're getting real. You guys ready to get real?
Let's get real.
You got the time, no one's getting sick from the coronavirus right now. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing is I want you to understand these parameters. We're first going to talk about the first side of things, and we're going to talk about DCS. And these are terms that I want you to understand. DCS is dollars spent or cost. Dollars spent, cost. Dollars spent, cost. The next thing I want you to understand is CPL. We kind of said that. CPL, cost per lead. Then I want you to understand this mathematical equation. It's not hard, but it's science, and science is always right? So I want you to think of dollars spent, TDS, total dollars spent, total dollars spent, that's TDS, divided by total leads, that means total leads, TL, total leads, equals CPL. So TDS divided by TL equals cost per lead. Total dollars spent divided by total leads equals cost per lead. Pretty simple. You guys tracking so far? Making sense? We're going to put numbers to this. Okay. So if I spend $10,000 on backing my message effectively in a marketing campaign, if I back my message with money and I get 1,000 leads, what's my CPL? Total dollars spent, total leads gives me a CPL of what? I need someone to say the number except for John to make sure that you guys are kind of understanding what I'm doing here. This is interactive training. You're welcome to speak and unmute yourself.
It's $10.
And
Boom. We're so brilliant here. $10. Okay. Here's the thing. Everybody gets stuck here. I spent $10,000. My cost per lead is $10. They only see one side of the coin. We're going to now talk about how it's making us money. Okay. Cost per client. We talked about this, CPC. Cost per client. I also want to talk about dollars earned. For some reason, this is hard. Let's just do it like this. Dollars earned is revenue. I don't care if you're going to take your numbers and do the high-end revenue or your low-end revenue, your taxable or whatever you guys classify as revenue for yourself inside of your tax planning. Revenue, dollars earned, right? Simple. DPL, dollars per lead. Next math equation. Dollars earned divided by total leads equals DPL, dollars per lead. So if I have 1,000 leads and my revenue is $3,500, DPC, dollars per client, I didn't give you guys that one, DPC, dollars per client. Say that I've got 10 clients. We're going to make these numbers a little simple because I just used the numbers from my last. I got a revenue of 35K. And I sold out of those 1,000 leads, 10 clients. Okay. So that means 35K divided by total leads, 1,000. I want my dollars earned, total leads, gives me a DPL, dollars per lead, of what? 35 bucks. So for every $10,000 I spend, I have a cost per lead of $10. Stick with me on this. This was a game changer for me. It cost me, we'll use red, so it's like costing, and red's bad because you have to spend money, $10. But yet, for revenue purposes, by client, I make $35 per lead. Then that means if I take $10 away for the cost per lead, CPL, I am in the green by every lead, $25. So for every lead that comes into my business from my marketing strategy, communicating my message effectively, I make 25 bucks. So I'm going to spend $10,000 because I'm making $25 for every person who goes to a lead source. What I do is, if that number drops below $17, I change my messaging. I change my strategy. I adapt because now I know I'm not communicating effectively to the marketplace because my cost per lead is costing more than my DPL. I want to be in the green at $35, $45, $55. That is the key to understanding your message is effective. Then, if I'm doing $35,000 in revenue and I've got 10 clients, that gives me a profitability margin, 35K divided by 10 clients gives me a DPL of $3,500. Dollars per client. DPC, excuse me. So if I know through my marketing strategy that I can make $25 a lead, and that per client I make $3,500 from my revenue stream, then $10,000 doesn't scare me to invest in my marketing strategy, because I can tell quickly and effectively if I'm winning or not winning by the way that I'm creating my messaging in connection with the marketplace. So within 3 days, I know if it's working or not working, and I can shift and redirect my messaging or my closing, how I close sales. And if I know that every advertising campaign, I'm roughly making $3,500 a client, then I can base my ad campaign and revenue into paying into social media marketing off of that. So if I'm making $3,500, what am I willing to invest for DPC, dollars per client? For that one client, how much am I willing to spend to have that client? If I know a client is worth this amount for me, then I know I'm willing to spend $1,000. The problem is without this equation, a lot of people are like, well, the client's worth to me for that year like $5,000 or $10,000 or $25. They're only seeing one side of the equation. They're only seeing this. And you can't make a marketing budget around your business without understanding this and this. And this will tell you if your message is strong, if you're communicating to people around you effectively, and you're working with the right people to make this number go up. This simple math equations, both sides of the spectrum. Everyone wants to focus on this. I draw pretty pictures. But nobody actually looks at what they're actually getting paid by each person that clicks. And when you know that, it's a game changer. But to make that happen more effectively, you got to know how to communicate a message, capture permission, and convert clients' mindset into connection on social media platforms. So when you're leveraging the income you're spending on advertising and marketing campaigns, you know that what you're saying is actually effective. So you're not getting suffocated in the masses of all of these people speaking, talking, and promoting on social media. Makes sense? And there goes, and inside of that space, there's lots of algorithms, microalgorithms, and a lot of skill that is necessary in that space. But I want you to see just kind of the high level of that game. Willie, what are you getting out of this conversation right now?
I got a lot to work on.
Welcome to being a business owner.
I know. So yeah, it's like I don't know how to put into words.
Speak to me, brother.
There's a lot of hype. Like, to be real, there's a lot of hype with people wanting to be entrepreneurs, people wanting to go out and motivate, and people just like wanting to start their own thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of not knowing kind of the numbers thing. Like, people get inspired. I believe like motivation can work two ways. It's either you motivate yourself every day to keep going, or you don't and learn how to do self-discipline to actually get it going.
No, you're getting it.
So with what we just went through, like, it's all the business and accounting that I went through in college. And like, you taught me something that took like 2 semesters or like a whole year to learn in what, 10, 15 minutes, right?
I only care about what shows me if I'm getting paid. I don't care about all the other crap.
Right.
I really don't. Like, I don't have time for that. I want to know how I'm making money and growing my family stability. That's it.
Amen. 100%.
So I want to share this with you, brother. I know where you're at, and I love where you're at. Motivation is fleeting. And everybody does want to be an entrepreneur, but nobody is ruthlessly committed to the work. This is work. This is sacrifice. And it could take you 2 years. It could take you 5 years. It could take you 10 years. But make the decision now that I'm relentlessly committed to making this happen. And I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to do the work necessary, because this is what separates the builders from the burners, especially in your space. I'm going to talk directly to your space. Everybody sees an easy ticket, easy income being a influencer, being a mentor and trainer, but they have no skill set to back up the identity of what's coming out of their mouth. But they see an easy ticket. They see easy income. They see easy way to position themselves to receive money. But then when they realize, oh my gosh, I actually have to build stuff, I actually have to make this a business, then they don't want to do it, and they just become someone talking crap on Facebook that nobody likes. So for you, brother, build the business connected to the message, which is built off your life. If you live what you lead inside of mentorship, you will never be wrong. And the beauty in that is it's going to force you to create faster than the world around you, because your product is based off the way you live your life, not off some YouTube video or book you read. And that's what's going to make you lethal in this game. And if you want to know more about how to do it, I am happy to connect with you and really give you some gut checking moments in how this business works. Because like I said, I built a movement of men that rivals anybody in Utah. I'm not that big outside of Utah. I get it. That's okay. But I built a movement of over 2,000 men in less than 3 years that still connect and pay. You can do it. But be dedicated, brother.
You're awesome.
Be dedicated. Like, this is not an easy road.
I know, especially like with the goal that I have. Like, that's my ultimate goal. I have no clue on how to get there, but I know I will. And like,
well, I can give you the first 10 steps. You're just going to have to do a lot of work, but I'll give you the first guaranteed 10 steps of what you need to do. I mean, my first event, I woke up and I said, you know what? Everyone wants me to pay them to be a speaker. I think they're stupid. I'm not going to pay someone to speak on their stage, right? Like, everyone came out of the woodworks. Like, we got this amazing stage. We really want you to come speak and share your message and your story, but you're going to pay us 10 grand. I laughed. So I woke up one day, looked over at my beautiful, amazing wife, and I said, you know what? I'm going to prove them wrong that I can do it without them. In less than 2 weeks, I had 75 tickets sold at $150. I packed a room and I sold 50 grand in product that one event. It was a one-day event. I was out of my mind. I had no clue what I was doing. I was yelling, swearing, and screaming on stage. I literally had a log where I made people pick up a log randomly to do it. Like, it's insane. But what I learned in that is, when you do it your way and you're just who you are, people will know truth and they'll follow that, especially in the space you're going into. You just have to run and do it your way. Be you in it. And you'll sell $75 in tickets. And the funny part is after that, I was getting invites all over the United States to speak at people's stages, and they were paying me. One video, one marketing strategy, one event I did, I'm speaking at warrior events all over. It's crazy. But you have to do the work. You have to be the standard. You have to create who you are and what you stand for, and run. Go. Don't follow anybody else. Do you. I love it. I'm going to get off my high horse. Ty, is it Ty? Did I remember that right?
Yes.
Okay, outstanding. Like, I am a military guy. I've been to combat a few times. Sometimes the short-term memory is not what it used to be. Forgive me, so I just double checking. What are you getting out of this conversation, brother? What are you hearing in this message?
Well, since I just started my business probably 3 or 4 months ago. So
Heck
it's just
yeah.
like, I got contracts in place. I'm just trying to get, obviously, like most everything. I'm just trying to get other stuff put together, and I guess the package deals and everything else for clients. And one thing is, I'm trying to build, like, I have a portfolio, but I got to build myself a web. I got a lot of stuff I got to still do, but I mean, I know it's a lot of work, but the thing is, I really want to do it, and so I've seen other people be very successful at what I do too.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, there's no reason why I can't do it. So I'm like, but I know there's a lot of things I got to work on and do and build up, but I know, I know it'll get there. It's going to take time, but.
Sure. And I don't want it to take time. I want you to do it in the next 2 weeks. So you got to stop like playing the simple, well, it's going to take time. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get around to it. You're going to be the guy who makes plans to make plans to make plans and doesn't execute lethally. And that's okay. Like I get it, man. I get it. I'm not trying to beat you up, but I want you to think of this. You don't need a website. You need a fast, effective landing page to put people on that tells them exactly what you do. Stop having 20 different things that you do. Narrow it down to the top things 3 things that you're really good at, and build 3 different packages off those top things. You can do websites. You can do landing pages. You can do this. You can do that. You can do videos. No. Pick the things that you are really good at faster than the world around you, and that you can fulfill at the highest level for your clients, and build a package around that. Keep it really, really simple, because people are sick of having too many things to choose from, so they don't choose nothing. Chase 5 rabbits, get none. Give them one, they eat. So give them the one thing that you are really good at and build your packages off of that. And they will come because of that, not because of all these things you can offer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you got 7 days. I want to see it up. 3 packages, 7 days. Look, dude, you're going to change them 6,000 different times in the next 3 years. Got it. You're going to grow and build as a business owner and change all your stuff over and over and over again. You should shift and redirect. But failure to do something is giving you nothing. So I want you to build 3 packages and put them out on the internet in the next 7 days. Time to run, brother.
Okay.
Don't tell me, show me. Let's see it.
You committed?
Yep, got
Is
it.
that the wife that's like, are you committed?
This is Lauren. So.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
I love it, man.
Into his uncomfortable zones. So.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to being a business owner, because it's all uncomfortable. Are you a spiritual guy?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to go too much in belief systems, but I'll tell you this. In 2016, I got home from Iraq. I did a 13 months straight in country, in a pretty interesting time. And I came home very confused and very, very upset in a lot of ways, very aggressive in a lot of ways, didn't smile, couldn't figure out a lot of things. I knew what I wanted to do with men because I knew I needed something. So I created the Gauntlet for me, this men's program for business owners for me, right? But here's what was the most beautiful lesson I learned when I first built my first long business. I got 14 employees that run this for me now. I don't even touch it. They do it. My guys do it. But I would have never had this, and I would have been this man, like this guy in business, if my inner voice didn't tell me to do something that made no sense. If my inner voice didn't tell me something that was very uncomfortable and confusing and like, who am I to do this? I don't know how to do this. I don't even know how to make this stuff possible. Like, you're out of your mind. But my connection with my higher power spoke to me in a way that I no longer could deny it. And when I attached that to my family, my wife and my kids, I became unstoppable. So logically, some of the decisions that I made didn't make sense in the moment, but spiritually and connected to why I started in the first place with my family, made me a lot of money in the first year. Go from here, connect to the wife, and go build some stuff. Get it done.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your service too.
Thank you.
I love and respect those in the military, because I really wanted to serve, but I had a messed up back and bad shoulders. So they said, thank you, but no.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because everyone's excited about it till they live the life I've led. And sometimes it's like, my son's like, I'm going to be a paratrooper ranger like dad. I'm like, no. You do not want to be this. Hey, girl. How old is she?
She is 3.
3.
Oh.
I've got 2 11-year-olds, a daughter and a son. And they're both a lovely handful at 11.
I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and then
3.
this 3-year-old, all girls. So
Better buy guns. If you need some, I got plenty. You can come borrow some on date night.
we're planning on it. That's one of our.
I love it. I love it. You ever need help selecting a good one? Let me know, because I've got tons. You can test them out, see which one you like. My wife loves me dearly. She's an amazing woman. I don't know why, but I've got over 20 easily. I don't even know anymore. So, all right, I appreciate it.
With his Nerf guns.
Yeah, and I've got my Nerf guns are legit. All right, I love it. Thank you for being here. I hope this gave you some insight. Aaron, is he there? Aaron, Jake, or Jenna, or Alfred, any one of you, first one to speak up wins.
Okay, I'll go.
Ha! Everyone else fell asleep. Jenna, what did you get out of this, my dear?
I just really like interacting with you and John and Dallin, because on my own, I feel like, my idea reserves go down, but when I interact with other people, they really perk up. So when you were talking about different things to communicate in content, you mentioned like just introducing yourself, and I feel like I'm still kind of in that stage. So I just thought of a story I could share with people. When I was first going to college, I was like so prepping to go to college. Like I half packed my possessions that I knew I was going to take, and I had them all in categories and labeled and stuff. So I'm going to share that on a live video, just spreading the word and, just, I guess, getting my influence out there.
I love it. And make sure that you give them a direction to work with you. Remember, a message without direction is just another weirdo trying to be a social media organic marketing genius. You're not that. Give a direction. And I want to touch on something that you said that I think is really powerful. In my world, I play a game called the Kingdom Game. And my dad said, you're the sum of the closest 5 men in your life. You're the sum of the 5 people that you interact with. If 5 of your friends smoke, you're going to smoke. If 5 of your friends are breaking into stores, you're going to be the 6th person to break into stores. And so inside of building business, really focus on a community that you can actually tie together with, that you can pick their brand, that you can be involved with, that actually promotes you, that actually helps you grow inside of who you are in business. And here's the thing. When you are the sum of the 5 powerful people in your corner and they're at a different level than you, it forces you to play at that level. And they do it because they love and honor you, right? The closest men I have in my life in my kingdom that forced me to play a higher level is Garrett White, Russell Brunson, Russ Perry, and Sam Falsafi. Those are men I talk to religiously. And they put me in check because they demand me to be the next version of myself. And so the question becomes, who do I need to become to get what I want? Not who am I today? So who you need to become needs to be supported by people that are playing at that level. And that's why community and business is so important. And I'm glad you touched on that, Jenna.
Yeah.
When we're going to play? You got the email. Let me know. All right, my dear. Jake, you bet. Thanks. Jake, you there? Well, Jake, Aaron, or Alfred?
Jake is here.
Boom. Jake, what'd you get out of this conversation?
Well, made myself a lot of sticky notes. I had a lot of. I didn't have a notebook by me. I had a pad of sticky notes.
Can I take a picture of this? Can you? Sure. Are you guys cool with me taking a picture and posting a sticky note thing?
Here we go.
My gosh, that is a first. I've been doing Zoom call meetings and trainings for years, and I've never seen the sticky note. So, dude, like you just made my day. Absolutely.
There we go. This is all of them.
Oh wait.
Okay.
Oh, dude, that is awesome. I'm so used to that. That is fantastic. I love it. So what's your biggest takeaway? What's your biggest revelation inside of today's conversation?
Well, I was just thinking of the numbers and the equation you went over on the marketing budget. Because what I'm doing right now is mostly directly communicating with people that I know. But when I get past that point and I'm needing to contact people I don't know, like through the Facebook messaging and marketing and whatnot, that's where I'm needing the help. And
I'm going to blow up your entire perception right now.
Blow it up.
Stop wasting your time on people who are never going to pay you. Stop going. I've gone to 2 marketing events in 2 years, and they've been both last year, twice. That's it.
Okay.
And I don't go there to talk about what I do. I go there to high five some people and support some people who want me to hear about their stuff they're doing. I don't care. What I realize is if I'm going to all these outreach things and trying to connect, I'm wasting my time from building the business I want. So what if I could just back my message and my product strategically with math so it protects my investment in marketing, and I can just sit and build and strategize and connect with business owners that want to work with me, help with me, and partner with me and spend my time there, then I make more money. So stop wasting your energy on trying to hustle, because you're going to get burned out. You're going to get frustrated with people because you're going to find people are going to take advantage of you. That's my experience. And I know thousands of people who have a similar experience. And start focusing on a clear strategy to market yourself effectively, but securing your investment with clients by knowing a math equation that makes sure you don't lose money when you do paid advertising. But I would start your outreach by social media platforms, because the numbers from 2019 don't lie. And then spend your energy, as opposed to connecting with people who you think you're going to get paid from, connect with business owners and like-minded individuals who can give you better strategies to make money quicker.
So like on my Facebook, I have like 700 friends. Unlike John, you probably have like 5,000, right? You're at the limit.
I don't even know. I think I got like 20,000 followers on Instagram, and I haven't posted anything on Instagram. And half of those people are probably from Europe that don't even know me. Let's be honest. And then like on my Facebook, on my business page, I have 5,000 people, but guess what? None of 5,000 people aren't paying me.
So how do you, so are you just advertising in Facebook to the general audience, not to your friends? Like you're with paid advertising?
There's a very strategic way on how I advertise. Most of my friends never see an ad from me.
Okay.
And the only time they see an ad video is if they YouTube me and saw a commercial that I did. And like, why didn't I see that? I was like, because I'm not advertising to you. I'm advertising to a way that the market perceives value to me, not me giving them value. I'm letting the marketplace decide if they want what I offer. And then I double down inside of that campaign. And I launch 4 campaigns a month, sometimes just 3. That's not true. Sometimes it's 3 and not 4. But I'm being very strategic in how I'm doing stuff. If you want a really simple template that you could follow, that's not like, click here, put $100, boost post, boost to friends of friends of friends. Don't ever do that. That is bad news bears. If you ever click the boost button, you're wasting all of your money. But I can give you just a really simple format that will actually help you be relevant and get you some clients. But I want you to think of marketing as the relevancy game, because a client is usually going to take 13 times watching something, feeling something, or seeing something from you before they buy on social media. That was the report from 2019, is 13 times before someone pays. So understand that this is the long haul. But if you know what you're spending and you have a mathematical equation that shows you what you're making as opposed to what you're spending, then it's too easy to double down on some money, right? But I want you to come to this. How much is a client worth to you? Not how much the client pay you. How much is a client worth to you? And start building your marketing budget around that. And it could be $500 for a month. It could be $100 for a month. But once you have that number, then let's build you a strategy that will start bringing in clients from that number effectively around the market that you're in.
And you know how to do that. Obviously,
Dude,
you know how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm sure you are, or you would be on this meeting. Okay. So if I wanted to know
no, I'll give it
more,
to you. Like I'll just give it to you, man. Like I'll just kind of jot down some notes, some things that work. I'll do a test phase with my I have a marketing advisor. His name's Alan. He lives in Arizona. He does the marketing for Willie. He does the marketing strategies for Tony Robbins, and he does it for Garrett White, and he also does it for ClickFunnels' actual strategy on how they get clients. He's a beast. So I'll have him kind of give me some ideas of what I'm going to leverage my kingdom, my community of guys, and ask what he suggests too around your market share. And then I'm happy to give that to you, Jake. Like, I want you to be successful.
Be awesome, Kyle.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like, double down all day long.
Okay, well, thank you.
All you got to do is connect with John and we'll make it happen. And if you ever do get my Joan, yeah, that's right. I was like, so we're sorry about this. We're going on a tangent. I lost all my front teeth in Iraq, and they had to do some bone grafts up here, and it didn't heal right. So one of my tooth isn't there. The rest of them got all fixed, but one of them isn't. I have to go get another bone graft and some skin gum grafts. Terrible thing. So they gave me this like tray that sits up. I can't pronounce words right. And if I take it out, I look ridiculous and I have a lisp. So like some people have seen me without it. Some people have seen me with it, but it is so hard to talk because it's like this big plastic thing that goes from here to here. And then it's got a super glued tooth in it. And then the back of it has this lisp. So like saying John is hard. I have to like make sure my tongue doesn't push against the top of my mouth or else it says Joan. Sorry, Joan.
Or yawn.
Yawn. It's a great experience. Or if I like yell, like air will get trapped and it'll just pop out and then it's really funny. And so even if I'm yelling, no one can take me serious because my tooth falls out. My life. Welcome to my life. Yeah, Jake, I'm successful. If I can be successful, anybody can because I'm an idiot. But, and I want you to, I also want you guys to like understand like success is perception. Like what successful is to me, I'm not successful in this moment. Like I do enough to take care of my family, take care of people that I care about. I'm able to help people. I'm able to double down on people. I gave one of my friends Dustin a car this Christmas because he was having financial issues and money for Christmas. I couldn't do that 5 years ago. Someone will say that's successful. For me, it's not. It's an ability to help. It's ability to take care of my family. But like in my head, until I'm bringing home like 5 million take home, I'm not successful. Like that's where my head is at. So think of success as your individual success and what matters to you. And then understand when you hit that, you're not going to feel successful. You're going to be like, what's the next thing? Like I remember, like I told, if I could make $100,000, 6 figures consistently for 3 years, I will make it. And then I hit that. And then I was kind of like, I don't feel like I made it. I just feel like I have more bills. Like what is happening here, right? Like it's so just remember, like be cautious with the word successful. And I try to be humble about it because it's all perception, right? And I think all of you guys are successful in your own way. You took a jump to build your own businesses. You care about what you're doing and you're here because you're willing to invest in your own time. And that means more than any dollar amount you could spend. And so I'm appreciative of that and where you guys are at. All right, Alfred, where you at, dog?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, brother.
Yeah, like the biggest takeaway, I guess, that I got from you is create your own standard, right?
Yeah.
Of who you are. Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
man.
literally have a program called 6 Figure Standard. Like I am the standard in everything I create, right? And you need to be the standard. So I love it. I'd love to pick your brain more, Alfred, get to know you more. So I'm glad you're here.
Got it. Yeah. Love it, man.
So hit me up, man.
Yeah, that definitely hit home. Yeah, it seems like sometimes I struggle with like, what people perceive me as like, we think that you can do that or you can do this or you can be this or that. And a lot of times it's like, yeah, not really,
Right.
So it's I feel sometimes it's a distraction more than anything. And that right there, create your own standard, resonates like with like, remember to be real with yourself every day when you wake up, look in the mirror and say, hey, this is you, double down on this.
Absolutely. And there's 2 questions that I ask myself because I'm that same guy. Like I felt like if I could hit everyone else's standards, then I was important and valuable. Especially when I was in like the corporate world. If I could just please my bosses and show that I'm the guy, You can depend on me. And I had that like in all areas, like in relationships and my friends. And it got exhausting, to be honest. And I got to the place where I don't give a French toast, and I'm going to be nice today. But usually I would swear, but I don't. Like, I am me. And it came to a place where I had to ask my 2 questions. What do I want? And who do I believe myself to be? Not who am I, but who do I believe myself to be in this moment? And is that getting me what I want? So every decision I make now is not like, I can help you. Yeah, I could totally do a lot of things. I could totally do this. Or you want me to do this. I don't even know if I can do this. To like, is this going to get me what I want? Yes or no? And if it's not, because I'm crystal clear and focused on what I want, then sorry, the answer is no. And I can't waste my time with you, because I have one life to live and I have what's important to me. And that's the direction I go in business, because the business supports everything I'm trying to build inside of my life. Right. But I had to be like totally focused on what I actually want. So I don't, and I kind of had the savior complex. Like, I want to serve. I want to help a lot of people. I want to be there. And what I realized is, like, I'm not Jesus, man. Like, there's only one savior, and it's not me. It's not me. I can't save you. I can't. So why am I trying to save everybody, help everyone, do everything, things that I can't even do, but I'm trying to figure it out just so I can be that guy, when all I needed to be was just me and be my own standard by getting what I want, be selfish enough to get what I want. Because when I'm getting what I want, I'm actually serving more people by default, and I'm actually building a close relationship in my family. It's a weird thing, but I love what you said, Alfred. I love it. I appreciate you. Connect with me, man. I'd love to get to know you more.
Thank you.
So I'm going to leave it with this. If you felt that this was impactful and powerful for you, then start surrounding yourselves with builders. Start surrounding yourself with a kingdom of men and women who want not something from you, but want something for you. That want to build and connect into a place of power and production, that you have to rise in what you want, who you are in business. And that's why these connection groups are so important. That's why I doubled down on John. That's why I truly value John in my relationship, because what he's got going on in his heart, and the reason why he's doing this is why I'm putting my name on it. Go research me. I have a very good reputation with my clients in fulfillment, and extremely good. And the only reason why I do is because I double down on integrity. There's a lot of connection groups, a lot of masterminds. I hate that word. John and I argue, like, we had this discussion. We don't argue about it, discuss. Like, I hate the word mastermind. It's become this fickle term for you guys to all like go into a room and try to prove who's the coolest guy in the room. No one cares. But in a room of people who actually want you to elevate who you are in your business, connect you to the right people, and build, that's a whole different ball game. And a lot of people start that way out. John's actually making it happen. So I love what John's doing. If I were you and you felt this was something that you want to have more of, then double down on the game that John's doing. It's going to change your life. So I appreciate you, John. Thank you for coming. If you guys want that other training on how to communicate a message and convert mindset more appropriately, psychologically, into frameworks that are easy to do on social media platforms, I'm happy to give that training through John anytime you guys want it. But there's a reason why we have a circle of powerful leaders. Get part of the circle. All right. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I don't diminish it for a second. Thank you.
Kyle, thanks for being here. And I appreciate you, man. And as we kind of wrap up this call and this training, I just wanted to thank everybody for being on this call and hanging out as long as we have. And guys, we're really lucky to have had this time to converse with Kyle Taylor and to talk about these things. I've aligned myself with Kyle in many ways so that I can get a lot of this value in this training as very often as I can, because when I feel like I have it down, I start to go down that road, and then all of a sudden I realize, okay, I need to dial in deeper, and then I need to dial in deeper. And so a lot of you know and have seen or have been involved with Amplified Minds before, and you know that we've gone everywhere from masterminds to events and so forth. But the one thing I'll leave you with this tonight is that we've gathered all this data and we've played at the level that we're playing at, and we've aligned ourselves with people like Kyle, and we've developed the kind of education, the kind of groups, the kind of platforms, and the kind of blueprints that actually allow people to build the kind of connection groups that actually help you get paid, that actually help you win in both life and in business. So what I'll say for you tonight is I've actually posted in the comments section an application bar, an application link where Amplified Minds has now launched its Champion Circle, one of these connection groups where you get to surround yourself with a group of people who are relentless about your success. We call it the Champion Circle for a reason. And the kinds of things that Kyle was talking about, the kinds of education and the kinds of platform knowledge that you need to gain on a weekly, monthly basis in order to hit and receive the outcomes of all of your goals come from the types of groups and the types of people you surround yourself with. So my invitation to you guys all is to apply for that champions group, to be a part of a group that's going to be rallied behind you. Think of it this way. If you're not part of the championship team, will you ever win? And that's what I want people to know, is that if you're not rallying behind people and putting yourself behind people, surrounding yourself with the right people in your life, that you will actually win with. And I've put this application out there, and I've also put this link in an email that will go out to you guys shortly. And again, I wanted to just thank you and appreciate you for being here tonight and talking with us about some of these things and being willing to be vulnerable enough to share with Kyle some of the things and where you're at with your business. I'm telling you, if you commit to a connection group, a group of people who are relentlessly rallying behind you, that will become part of your kingdom and become part of the social group that will allow you to win on a life and a daily basis, this is where you're going to want to be. And I want you to know that our first connection group starts in April. So the applications are filling up and they're going quickly. So I want you to fill out that application as soon as you can. The application will lead to a conversation with me where we will get to interview and talk about the placement that best suits you. But I want to invite you to do that. And I want you to do it today and to do it tonight. And you'll receive an email too that communicates this and will also give you the opportunity for you and I to chat and see where you're at. These are the kinds of things, like Kyle had said and what we were talking about tonight, these are the kinds of things that you'll get on a weekly and monthly basis as a part of these connection groups, because we value your success more than we value the hype. We care about what you do and how you win as a result of our connection circle. So join our champion circle, apply today, and I put that in the links there. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. And one last thing I want to say is Kyle stuck around so late tonight for all of us, and I want to just give him one more round of applause for that. But thank you, Kyle. And for any one of you who need to connect with Kyle, I will personally make that connection one-to-one so that you can have a conversation with him and get more out of this conversation and more value out of this than you did just sitting here listening. And I appreciate you. And Kyle, I can't thank you enough, and appreciate all the time you've given to this and to us. And also feel free to talk about the 6-figure standard if you'd like to shout out.
Doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter. And I'm just going to pony off you guys. I posted in the comments, like, one of the guys that have been influential in some of my growth, his name is Cade.
Yeah.
He is an amazing guy. He's part of this group. Like, he's got some ballers in this group that I've learned from. And Cade is a close friend of mine now, and he's a beast. So there's some high players in here, and I want to and that's why I said this. I'm not trying to like clout. I'm getting paid nothing for this. I'm not getting paid of anything that he's doing. It's not about that. It's just about facts and like the truth of this. Like, there's some ballers in that group, ballers. And I want to give this. My cost to work with me for like 90 days ranges from $5,000 to $25,000 for 90 days of work with me. Imagine if you can join a group with like 30 of me in all different ways. That's not even close to that for a year. Imagine the growth you'll have in your business. Like, I'm all about mentorship, but for me, I join groups of powerful people that I need to learn from because it's way cheaper. It's way more effective. And I get to choose the people I want to connect with long-term to grow my business and my relationships. So I want you to kind of keep that in the back of your head. That's why these things are important. And that's why I'll back you all day long, John. So yeah, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. I'm going to go upstairs, eat some food with my awesome wife, hang out with my son who doesn't have school because the whole world's gone mad. And it's going to be a blessed, amazing night. So be powerful, be brave. Thank you, John. I'm out of here.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it. And thanks everyone for staying on, and thanks for that testimonial. I really appreciate that. And we do have some pretty powerful players. Cade, James, and several other incredible people will be in these groups, and the ability to connect with them and socialize with them on that level, outstanding. So my invitation to you again is click on that link. And then if you didn't see the link, or if you can't access it, or if you can't get to it right this second, I'm going to send you an email, and I'm going to have that link sent to you there. And then I'm going to follow up with you. So I want you to know that this application was given to you so that you can go ahead and apply, but also so that you and I can chat, see where you're at, and see what kind of valuable connections you need to be creating in order to build the relationships that are going to help you win in every area of your life. So thank you all. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Jenna. Thanks, Alfred. Shout out to Willie, who is on the call. Looks like Willie's still on the call. Perfect. Okay, I'm just scrolling through. I know that Aaron was on the call, and Ty and Lauren. So grateful you're here. By the way, got your text. I'll answer to you in a minute here. And awesome. Hey, that's it, guys. We do this every week. We do trainings like this every week, so don't miss out. If you're not part of our Facebook group, which is called well, it used to be called Amplified Minds and Connections, but I've actually renamed it to be called Return on Relationships. And soon enough, you'll be a part of that Champion Circle group too. But all in all, we talk about this stuff. We gather the types of people in order to get you what you need to get. So what awesome value. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Love you all. Don't get coronavirus. Don't get COVID-19. Don't do any of that. Just stay safe. Stay awesome. Undoing our recording.